pads would be. Sara here, coming to you from the Stairway for part 2 of the Great Stairway Makeover. If you haven't seen part 1, stop this video, go back and watch that one, and then come back and start watching this one. I am so dang excited to get this project done. In today's video, I'll be tackling 2 IKEA hacks, finishing off decorating the space, and then revealing it to my brother. If you like this video while you're watching, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell so you never miss an upload. You're gonna wanna subscribe and you're gonna wanna come back because next week's video is a project Hillary's been working on that I am dying over. I'm so excited for you guys to see it. It's beautiful, it's unique, it's gonna blow your socks off. Knock your socks off. It's gonna do stuff to your socks. So make sure you subscribe, for real. You don't wanna miss it. Anyway, I'm super excited to get this done. Let's just get into it. I got my overalls on. Okay, so let's take a little walk down memory lane. This is what it looked like before, and if you've watched last week's video, you know that I ripped up all the carpet, I painted, I did all sorts of stuff, including the peel and stick tile that you see here on the bottom landing and the top. This upgrade alone really changed the whole space, and it's so beautiful already, but the projects I'm going to show you today bring it all together. The first thing I did after the floors were done was to paint the doors and handrail black. I used satin bare paint and primer in the color Carbon. This is the color we've used on the black accent wall video and the chicken coop video and a couple others actually. I'll link those videos in the description box, but this is our go-to black paint. We love it. Okay, so for my first IKEA hack, I'm going to add runners to the stairs. They're 7 feet long for $40, so they're actually really inexpensive for the quality and I'm stoked about it. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to attach them to the stairs. The first thing I did was measure the width of my stairs and then subtract the width of my rug, which was a 4-inch difference. So in order to center my rug on each step, I needed a 2-inch space on each side. So I placed a piece of tape at the 2-inch mark on each side to give myself a visual reference, ensuring that as I went along, my rug was straight and center. The supplies I used were stapler, staples, sharp scissors, and rug gripper tape. Everything I used will be linked in the description box below. On each step, I cut a piece of the gripper tape and placed it on the front and back of the step. This will help the rug stay in place over time a bit, and you could actually use carpet pad here as well. I unrolled the first rug and then I rolled it back the opposite way onto itself so that as I went up the stairs it was easier to handle. I placed it on the first step, making sure to align with my tape marks and the bottom line of the step, and then I stapled on the darker part of the rug in an effort to hide the staples a bit. I stapled along the whole bottom edge and ended up using a hammer to drive the staples in a bit more. This is where I start to get really frustrated, but I kept going like an idiot. You'll see why in a second. I found this handy dandy carpet smusher tool in my brother's workbench, and I used it to shove the carpet into the underside of each step so I could get the staples in nice and tight. I should add this to the supply list because it's definitely an essential tool for this project. Because this rug has horizontal lines in it, I had to be very careful to keep those straight as I went along, because when you step back and look at the stairs as a whole, you want those lines to be super duper straight or the whole thing will just look off and wonky. As far as where to staple, I hope you can see in the video that I'm stapling in the back crease of the step and the underside of the stair lip, really trying to get in as tight as I possibly can. Okay, so it's been about an hour and I've made it up 1.5 steps. I hate this thing and I'm super annoyed. This is not working. It's not driving the staples in far enough, and you can really see the staples and it's really, really difficult to do and use. So I'm gonna go back to Home Depot, return this with a note that says don't buy me, and I'm gonna get a proper tool that will work better, I hope, and I'll be right back. So I ripped up the couple steps that I'd done and took out all the staples so that I could start again. This is often how DIY goes, but look at us keeping it real around here. Cute. My brother handed over this pneumatic narrow crown stapler and it absolutely saved the day. It completely changed the course of the project, and I highly recommend this as the tool for the job. This one attaches to a compressor, but you can get a battery-powered one as well. The staples were nearly invisible, and it was much more powerful at driving the staples into the steps.
Anyway, you got the idea, right?
Say hi to YouTube, Mark. This is my amazing brother, Mark.
So, yeah.
He's the jack of all trades. He can do anything. Just kneel down.
Anyway, so, do you hear that?
Okay, so it doesn't pull up, it doesn't pull these.
Well, it will pull. It will pull. In other words, it can be so powerful that it can take out wrinkles.
I don't know what this magic tool is that her brother speaks of, but if it takes out wrinkles... My whole face needs this.
See that? So, and I would go right there. Right there.
Mark to the rescue. He came in to check my progress and saw me struggling a bit and gave me all the pointers and tricks to make this whole process a piece of cake. Using that carpet smusher tool for the creases and wrinkles was really the key to getting sharp edges and straight lines. And Hillary had finished up the project at her house and came to help as well. It went really fast after that, and I was so grateful for their help.
Okay, so this is gorgeous though.
When I got to the end of a rug, I would cut off the very end piece to ensure that the pattern on the rug would match as I transitioned to the next rug. And I left a little bit extra so I could staple it into the back crease of the step. Then I started the same process I did with the first rug by cutting off the edge of the rug and then lining up the pattern and rolling it back in on itself, pressing down super hard to make sure the rug was in there nice and tight. Then I just continued upward, same as before, until I made it to the very top.
It's magic! It's going to end right here, and we're not even going to cut it, right? That should be like dead on. Sarah, making magic! We're gonna keep working on this, aka Sarah's gonna keep working on this. But you don't get to see all the magic yet.
Okay, so I finished the runner on the stairs last night, and now I'm working on the second IKEA hack. I found the shoe cabinet on Facebook Marketplace, and IKEA sells it for, I can't remember how much. So I'm gonna insert footage here of how much it actually costs. But I got it for $50 on Facebook Marketplace. It's an awesome cabinet. It's got tons of storage inside, but I don't really love the way that it looks. It's very IKEA-ish to me, and I want to elevate it just a little bit. So I'm gonna do a few minor tweaks to it, and it's gonna look like a totally different cabinet, and I'm stoked about it, so watch this. I started by removing the knobs of the cabinet and then disassembling the drawers to prep them for painting, and I gave the whole thing a quick sand with 220 grit sandpaper. I'm going to attach different legs to this cabinet, so I cut off the current legs by making a mark with my speed square and cutting the wood with my jigsaw, and then I sanded the rough edge. In order to attach the legs securely, I needed the bottom of the cabinet to have a better base, so I grabbed a scrap piece of MDF and measured it to fit the bottom of the cabinet. And in order for that piece of MDF to match the side profile of the cabinet, I traced a pencil line the same shape and cut the little notch out with my jigsaw. It was a perfect fit. I used wood glue and brad nails to secure the MDF to the bottom of the cabinet, and then I laid it all out for painting. I rested all the pieces of the cabinet on these little tripods, and I swear by these things. I'll link them in the description box below. I wiped everything down and prepped my sprayer with Bin brand primer. This stuff dries really fast and it's so grippy, and it's a total must-have when painting IKEA furniture. If you want your paint to stick, this is the stuff. Now, I chose to spray both my primer and paint on, but you can absolutely roll or brush them on. I got this sprayer a couple months ago when I was helping my sister paint her kitchen cabinets, and it's easily my favorite new tool. If you want a full tutorial on this sprayer or one like it, leave a comment below and we will whip up a video for you on how awesome this thing is. Okay, while I wait for the primer on this to dry, I'm gonna go build a little picture ledge in the stairway. Let's go. This isn't an IKEA hack, but I had to include it in this video because I love how it turned out. There's a random ledge in here that needed something, so I'm attaching a piece of common pine to the front of it to make it look like a built-in picture ledge. You guys know I'm a huge fan of picture ledges. If you've seen our video on how to build those, I'll link it in the eye and down below, but this spot just called for it. I cut out a notch with my multi-tool in the molding, and the wood fit in perfectly. I stained it with bare wood stain in classic gray to match the peel and stick tile wood tone, and in the final reveal you'll see what I put up on this ledge. Back to the cabinet. I picked up a quart of satin bare paint and primer in the color Conifer Green, and on camera it looks slightly pukey here, but I promise it's not. It's beautiful. It's a warm green and you'll see just how pretty it is in the final reveal. We're almost there. Now for the final touches. I found these furniture legs on Amazon and attached them to the bottom of the cabinet. And then Hillary and I brought it inside where I attached these knobs that I found on Amazon as well. I changed out the lighting and hung some prints on the wall that are from my print shop. And because this is an entrance to Airbnb apartments, I thought it would be really sweet for guests to see our beloved Utah landscape when they walked up. So I added some Utah prints from my print shop and a few from amazing artists on Etsy. These, along with everything else, will be linked below. So once again, let me remind you what it looked like before. And here is the after. Can you believe what a transformation this is? I can't get over it. I love it so much. It's bright and airy and welcoming and just plain beautiful. The IKEA rug makes it modern, and the cabinet and prints on the walls makes it feel like home. My brother and his wife Darcy are two of the most loving and generous people I know, and I was so excited to show them what I'd done. They totally approve, and I couldn't be happier with it all. And that's a wrap on the great stairway makeover, everyone. Make sure you come back next week to see what Hillary has in store. You don't want to miss it. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next week.